Pretty much. Yeah. For a little bit of background, I did. It had been kind of my dream to have a place on the web for Lehigh football fans, I guess, to congregate. And I had tried originally a few years before to try to set up a website. I have a background in IT, so I knew enough about setting up a website, and I was able to kind of come up with my own place to put a website. But I found it was very hard to maintain. I had to it was a lot more work than I had kind of bargained for. I had set up something very basic, but it took a lot of work, and I wasn't very satisfied with it because didn't look the way I wanted, and it was very hard to get going. What blogging did for me was it made it very, very easy to put out a lot of content quickly. I didn't have to. That's one of the beautiful things about these free services like Blogger. You can be up and running very quickly. You can go on. You could say, "What do you want your blog to be?" Okay, I want it to be Lehigh. So you type that in, and then you choose what's called a template, which is just basically how you want the blog to look. And there's a lot of different basic templates you can choose from, and you can look and see how they look on the screen when you do it. And then you just click, and then you're done. And then you can start blogging, and then you say write post, and then a web page will come up and it says like, here's the subject, and then you can just start typing in the body, and then you can put pictures in there if you'd like. You can put video, post, and then there it is. It's on the web for you already. It made what I wanted to do very, very easy.
Okay, let me just interrupt you. Excuse me for one more second. So, many times when you do a website, you write in HTML, and you write in Java, and you write in these kinds of languages that you're probably more familiar with than I am with your IT background. When you do a blog, is there any particular need to be able to write code, or can you just enter it in just English like a word processor?
Oh, you don't need to know anything about coding at all. If you were to go, I've put a lot of like goodies and extras on there, but you don't have to do that at all. That's like, if you look at that, you don't have to feel pressure to say, oh, you have to make it look like this. Just to get going, you can get it out of the box very quickly and have it look really nice, without having to know anything about HTML, anything about Java, or anything like that.
Okay, that's great. So I couldn't help but notice that a lot of ad space around your blog. So is there the possibility of monetizing your blog? I mean, if someone clicks on one of those, would you get some money?
Absolutely. There are a few different ways to sign up for something called Google Ads. An ad, I guess, program through Google where Google you give it basically a billboard space to Google, and then they will pay you. They will pay you a certain amount of money. It has. That's what it says on their website. Which basically, so let's say 10,000 people load up your page and then see a Google ad on top. Google keeps track of that and then will pay you a certain amount of money. And if people click on that if they see an ad that interests them and they click through and they go to the company, then you make more money.
Oh, okay.
And Google has a lot of formulas to trying to figure out exactly how much and stuff. But the bottom line is that you can make some money off your website if you add these Google ads. You can add there's some rules and stuff to it, but setting up through Blogger, since Blogger and Google AdSense are owned by the same company, they make it very easy to set up. So all you need to do really for AdSense is to just basically sign up for Google AdSense and get an ID, and then you cut and paste it into Blogger, and then you're ready to go. It's easy in that way.
So do you feel like the ads have detracted from the original intent for the blog?
I wouldn't say that for myself. I know there are some people, and I'm friends with these folks that feel that having no ads is a badge of honor, that that it's free of, I see their point too in ways. It's that it can be free of clutter, but I've always been okay with the fact that as long as the ads are tasteful and they're not anything really bad, and Google tends to be okay with that. They're not perfect. I have been experimenting with some better ad revenue things but nothing gives quite the same revenue as Google, quite frankly. So Google, I found to be the best one for me.
Okay, great. So I just want to, in finishing this up, after the group sees your video tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about personal branding. And looking around the net and talking to people, social media today is one of the primary mechanisms for creating a personal brand, which is essentially finding a way to have people see you as the way that you see yourself. So if I want people to see me as the best analog electronic engineer in the southwestern United States, then somehow I need to get into LinkedIn and blogging and Twitter and everything else in such a way that people identify me as being that expert. So did you have a certain personal brand in mind when you started your blogging? Did you want people to see you in a certain way?